Penguin Random House presents Healed, How Cancer Gave Me a New Life by Manisha Koirala with Neelam Kumar. Read by Aishwarya Singh. To you, dear reader, may you realize your limitless human potential and rekindle your inner spirit to face every challenge life throws at you. Preface. In 2013, while I was battling cancer in New York, I met a Rinpoche who had traveled to the US from Nepal. In Tibetan, Rinpoche means the precious one. It is an honorific title used in Tibetan Buddhism for a teacher of the Dharma. He advised me to treat every feeling I was going through as a precious jewel and pen all of them down while I was experiencing them. He further told me that the mind was conditioned to forget, and if I did not commit these feelings and thoughts to paper, I would lose the valuable lessons of my chemotherapy days in the mundaneness of everyday life. So while going through that phase of my life, I kept fragmented notes in my diary, hoping to spin them into a book later. Truth be told, bits of this book were written in my head during my chemo days. But I found it hard to sit down with my painful memories and document them in a book. Now, I have finally got around to writing one. My book is a result of intense soul-searching. I have plunged deep into the dark, bottomless pit of painful memories and woven a story out of them. It has taken a lot of courage to confront and relive my experiences. But I needed to do so in order to become a true storyteller for the reader's sake as well as my own. Manisha means Saraswati. This book is an attempt to look for the Saraswati in Manisha. Writing it has been a soulful experience for me, and I hope it will make an enjoyable read for you. I offer my book to you with a lot of love. Prologue. I grow silent, dear soul, you speak. Rumi. I don't want to die, I texted my friend in desperation. The feeling of being engulfed by darkness was fast descending on me. Even as I choked and struggled to fight it, darkness clutched at my throat, cutting off the light. Then it traveled swiftly, sweeping ruthlessly through my body, and finally settled into the pit of my stomach. I panicked at the old memory of feeling abandoned. It had happened to me at age 8 when my mother left me at my grandmother's house in Banaras and simply walked away. Wide-eyed, I had remained standing there, waiting for her to look back and take me in her arms. She never did. Why didn't you turn? I asked her many years later. Because, my little one, I did not want you to see me get teary-eyed. It was only years later that I understood why she had left me there. She was helping out my father in Nepal's mounting political activities and knew that my grandmother, who had ably raised several children, would look after me well. Of course, with time I had understood my beloved mother's situation and the wisdom of what she had done back then. But could I shake off the feeling of abandonment imprinted on my young soul? No. I felt a similar tinge of desertion when my marriage failed. I had tried my best to make it work, and its collapse weighed heavily on my soul. But we were just two very different people, not meant to be with each other. Why did I always end up choosing the wrong guy? I fretted over what the world would say, that I could not even handle a marriage well. The fear of being abandoned had chased me all my life. This fear, however, was unlike anything I had experienced before. It was the fear of being abandoned by life itself. Chapter 1. That sinking feeling. Uncertainty is life's way of saying that there are only a few things you can control. Anonymous. 10 December 2012. It was a cold winter morning at the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York. I remember how the frost settled on the window panes, blocking my view of what I imagined must be a winter wonderland. Snowflakes fell gently on the barren trees, covering them protectively like a soft eider down, and lulled them to sleep until they were ready to bloom again. Christmas was just around the corner. I imagined children laughing and running in the squishy undergrowth, families decorating their Christmas trees with fairy lights, lovers snuggling up to each other with renewed promises. It was the season of love and newness. The stark contrast of my situation hit me like a blow. I was alone in my room at the hospital, feeling empty and broken. From the high life of a Bollywood star, I had suddenly been reduced to a patient battling for life. Death was staring me in the face. Was I going to be just another statistic? I don't want to die, I sobbed out to the pristine white ceiling, but it just stared back at me. Yet again, my heart became a fierce battleground for life and death. Optimism and despair. The endless tug-of-war kept playing out in my mind. You, Manisha, are going to live through this. Hope reassured me. But you are BRCA1 positive and have stage 3 ovarian cancer. Death hissed back. There is a 44% survival rate in such cases. Hope soothed me. There is a 56% chance of you dying. Death jeered back. I shut my eyes to let the voices fade away. It was comforting to sink into nothingness. Whenever I needed comfort, my heart would fly to the visually stunning images of my country, Nepal. I found myself wanting to soak in the majesty of the snow-covered peaks of the Himalayas. I remembered the moments of perfect bliss on watching the orange and pink glow of the fading sun splashing them with color, before they were transformed into torches of fire. And then the sadness of the fading embers. I found myself ambling into Kathmandu's quaint lanes, my nose assailed by the strong concoction of pungent, musty, fetid, and cloyingly sweet smells of hashish, fish, vegetables, and spices. The exotic smell of jimbu, the high-altitude herb that dominates the famous Asan market, teased my senses. I elbowed my way through the narrow streets lined with palaces, temples, shrines, stupas, and pagodas, structures that stand testimony to Nepal's rich heritage of art, culture, and its ancient history. My eyes felt dazzled by the riot of reds, oranges, pale goldens, and deep browns. The fragrance of the magnolia flower teased my senses. I felt wrapped in the memory of a favorite childhood smell, that of lavender and honey. My eyes swept through Nepal's endless lush greenery that I enjoyed during my Shivpuri and other treks on the outskirts of Kathmandu Valley. Despite the ugliness of modern construction, Nepal still remained a veritable mother's store for me, soothing, relaxing, and pure. I have always felt that if you cut me up, you will find in my veins the roar of the mighty Bagmati of Nepal and the majestic Ganges of India, for my life has played out in these two beautiful countries. Though born into the politically prominent Koirala family, several of whose members have gone on to rule the nation, I made India my land of choice. I lived the stuff of dreams in magical Mumbai, acting in 80-plus films, emerging as a top Bollywood heroine of my times, and winning many coveted awards over the years. I am deeply grateful for all that, but the journey has been far from smooth. The canvas of my...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?